Hi, I'm Tobias Turley.
And I'm Henry Calvert.
And welcome to Season 2 of
The Scenestealers. For all things movies,
theatre,
TV,
be it reviews,
news,
and interviews.
we've got you covered.
So, come with us, Season 2 of The Scenestealers.
For your weekly dose of pop culture goodness. Yay! And welcome to the Karate Kid special edition of The Scenestealers. I'm Henry Calvert.
And I am Tobias Turley.
And Ichni Sanshi Go Rook Each Hat Kuju Ay! Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, sir. I'm so excited because today we're talking about the Karate Kid. I'm a purple belt in karate. I don't know if you knew that.
Are you actually?
Yeah, very interesting fact about me. So be careful because my body is a weapon.
My body is a
My body is a weapon and I could break you.
Wow, I never knew that about you.
Yeah.
I think first of all we should address the elephant in the room.
We're sat apart because he has the plague.
I do.
And I'm risking my sinuses for this podcast.
We wanted to make sure we still got an episode out. So we are just slightly further away than normal today. If you can maybe hear it in my voice.
Yeah, if I'm ill next week, I will not be impressed. I
I
will not be best bloody
He'll
pleased.
use his purple belt skills.
I will.
Did you not have it in you to get a black belt? What?
I think I got to about 15 and GCSEs took over when I wanted my Saturday mornings back.
That sounds like a lack of dedication to me.
You know what? It really was. And I regret it to this day. I really do regret it because in my style of karate, it went red belt, yellow belt, orange belt, green belt, blue belt, purple belt, brown, and then you had to have 2 stripes on your brown belt.
Yeah.
So 2 more exams. Then you got your black, and then there was like 8 different stages of black belt.
Jeez, I did karate for a little bit, but I think I got my... What's the third one?
Like yellow.
Yellow. I think I got yellow or something.
Yeah. I did a lot of kata. I know how to appropriately strike someone in the groin now.
Well, that's very
I can
important.
do well, it is exactly. And I know how to theoretically defend off 70 attackers at once.
70?
That's what kata is all about. It's like a little kind of dance routine, but in karate, and you're doing it against theoretical opponents that are there. But it's more about like the art and the form.
Oh.
So yeah, and the whole reason why I got into karate was, of course, because I wanted to be Daniel LaRusso.
Yes.
I wanted to be the Karate Kid. Now, the Karate Kid franchise started back in the 80s with the first Karate Kid movie. Now, can you tell me what other film the director of the Karate Kid directed?
The original Karate Kid.
The original Karate Kid, John G. Avildsen, also directed what other famous film franchise for a while?
Now that name does ring a bell. John G.
Avildsen. Avildsen.
AVI.
Avildsen. Avildsen.
And it's a franchise. Twilight. No.
He's an Academy Award-winning director for directing Rocky.
Rocky, I knew it.
Rocky.
Jesus.
He directed Rocky 1 and Rocky 5.
Damn it, I knew that.
As well as all 3 of the original Karate Kid movies.
Yes.
So
God, I knew that.
The first Karate Kid film came out in 1984, starring Ralph Macchio as the titular Karate Kid, Daniel LaRusso, who finds himself being like moved over to LA by his mum. And he's getting picked on at school, and he's a bit of a scrawny kid, and all that changes when he meets Mr. Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi. Continue.
Played by the incredible Pat Morita.
Yeah.
Who originally was a comedic actor.
Was he?
He did a lot of stand-up, and weirdly enough, you'd think Pat Morita actually had a similar accent to Mr. Miyagi. That would be false. Pat Morita is like the most American-sounding man. It's really strange watching him do his stand-up.
What's the other guy called?
Johnny Lawrence.
Johnny Lawrence.
Yeah,
is it?
Johnny Lawrence picks on Daniel LaRusso.
Yes, yeah.
Played by William Zabka.
That's what I'm thinking of, William Zabka.
You know what? They're having grief at school, but it all gets settled when Mr. Miyagi goes to the Cobra Kai dojo and says to Sensei Kreese, no, this is no more, we're going to settle this on the floor at the All Valley Karate Championships. And sure enough, they face off, and Daniel LaRusso wins. He gets the girl, and he wins the karate tournament. He wins Ali, played by Elizabeth Shue. Elizabeth Shue, of course, being everyone's childhood crush.
Yes. The thing is, now there's the 3 original movies. There's the 2000 and what?
10? 2011?
2010.
Yeah, 2010.
Jaden Smith, Jackie Chan edition. There's the Cobra Kai Netflix series.
Yes.
And now the newest edition is Karate Kid Legends.
Indeed. Now,
with the return of Jackie Chan, Ralph Macchio. What's the boy called?
And the new Karate Kid, Ben Wang.
Ben Wang.
I'm excited to say we will have on as a guest in this episode.
Yes, sir.
We have a Karate Kid on the Scenestealers, which is very, very exciting. But I think before we get into Karate Kid Legends, we should talk a little bit about the franchise as a whole. Now, I am a big Karate Kid fan. I love the first movie. I really liked the second and the third growing up, but I'm under no illusion that those films are actually kind of trash. As soon as they introduce like Terry Silver and Mike Barnes, it kind of like it goes a bit off the rails.
Yeah.
And it's really strange going back to the first Karate Kid movie, which is like actually a kind of quite grounded.
Because you rewatched it last night, correct?
Yeah, it's like a quite grounded, real. It's not that cringe. It's just a very real, heartfelt film.
I want to do some research on Letterboxd about the Karate Kid.
Yeah,
movie,
and then you look at where that franchise goes, even in the third installment, which is, Mike Barnes and Terry Silver, and they go to Okinawa, and it kind of does go a bit mental, especially when you get to the Cobra Kai TV show, which has things such as karate riots. And
see, I do not like the Cobra Kai TV show. I have to be honest with you. But Ivan and Keelan love it. And so sometimes I walk in on them watching it, and they're like so into it, and I think it's absolute dog water.
Well, this is the thing with Cobra Kai. At least the first season of Cobra Kai, I could kind of like get on board with the cringe. Like,
yeah.
I can kind of like, I could see what it's going for. I'm obsessed with seeing William Zabka and Ralph Macchio back. And there is like quite a lot of heart in it. Towards the end, there is an episode where Kreese goes to Japan and like tames snakes and like learns the mystical art of karate from actual cobras, because this dojo's called Cobra Kai. And it's like, as soon as you get into that, it's just a little bit obscene.
I think the few things I've seen from that is like when there's the riot in the school and like someone falls down the stairs
and breaks their back.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, it is a bit mental.
I don't know.
It's just a lot. Cobra Kai is a lot.
It's just too cheesy for me. Like, there's so many awful jokes that Ivan's like,
but I tried to get back. I haven't finished the latest season. I'm like I got 3 episodes into the latest season and I kind of stopped. But
the Saikai Taikai.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back into it now, and it is a little bit difficult. And so by a little bit, I mean it's very hard to get back into. But
people rave about it though. I don't get it.
I don't know. It has kind of reinvigorated the Karate Kid franchise, and I do like going back and watching the original film and kind of seeing it from Johnny's point of view, in the way that like even back then, I'd hear stuff of like actually Daniel LaRusso is kind of like the baddie in Johnny's story. Like Daniel LaRusso's come along, he's stolen Johnny's girl that he's fancied for ages. Johnny, don't get me wrong, is a bully. But Johnny's been kind of like, what's the word? I don't know, overcome by not overcome, Kreese has like manipulated him into being the way that he is. So I do I do have more sympathy for Johnny Lawrence now, having watched Cobra Kai.
Well, it's like, have you watched How I Met Your Mother?
No.
It's my favourite sitcom. But Barney, played by Neil Patrick Harris, has this affinity with the Karate Kid, the original movie. But in his mind, the Karate Kid is Johnny.
Yeah.
And he's like, when I watch that movie, I'm rooting for William Zabka because he is the Karate Kid, not some little runt from Queens who's just been taught. Like, he was like, he's been learning everything he can at the Cobra Kai dojo, and like he's the real Karate Kid. Ralph Macchio is a fraud.
Yeah.
And so there's a long running joke in the whole series about how he hates Ralph Macchio and how he loves William Zabka.
Got you. But yeah, I do like the fact that Karate Kid has blossomed into this massive... I mean, it blossomed into a franchise back in the 80s still. I mean, they pumped out the first one in 84, the second one in 86, and the third one in 89.
Wow.
They were clearly saw potential in this.
If I'm honest with you, I had no clue there was a part 2 and part 3.
Yeah, part 2, they go to Okinawa, which is where Mr. Miyagi's from, and they learn the drum technique, which is a bit weird. And that's where the famous, live or die, man! Live or die! And that's also the one which opens where Kreese like punches in some car windows. Kreese is like actually insane. I like Kreese as a character because he's mental. And then 3 is not very good. 3 is where like Daniel kind of gets seduced by the more offensive karate style with Terry Silver, and Mike Barnes is the baddie, and there's a new girlfriend. I think it's a real shame that Elizabeth Shue didn't remain in all of these films, because I really like Ali and Daniel together. I think they've got a lot of chemistry, and it's nice seeing her come back in that one episode of Cobra Kai. But yeah, to be honest with you, 3 isn't very good. It's all about like bonsai trees. And then we had a big break. And then I actually don't know what came first, if it was the Cobra Kai series on YouTube, because that was a YouTube Red series.
YouTube?
Yeah, I don't know if you remember YouTube Red, but it was like a YouTube series, similar to like how the Sidemen have a TV show on YouTube.
Yeah.
But Cobra Kai was a YouTube original, and then it got picked up by Netflix. But somewhere in there we got the Jaden Smith Karate Kid film, which I have not seen in probably about 10, 12 years.
I really enjoy it, if I'm honest with you.
You quite like it.
I do. I think this definitely was the first instalment that I saw. I watched this before watching the original.
Yeah.
I think I remember watching it on a flight or something. And I don't know, I think I watched it around the time where it came out, and I must have been around the same age as Jaden Smith. And I actually really connected with his version of the character, like the way, he gets taken from his home in Queens to go live in China. And then he finds it really hard to settle in. Then he starts getting bullied, and I remember finding it really sad watching it as a kid, just because I think Jaden Smith in this is really, really good.
No, he's great in it.
I think it's personally his best acting role.
I wonder how old he was in it. It was 2010.
How old is he now?
He was born in 98, so he was only 12.
Yeah, so he's 2 years older
So he's
than
like
me.
11.
Yeah. Oh, he's really good in Pursuit of Happiness as well, actually.
Yeah.
And that one.
Yeah, stop touching my phone with your gammy, like, plague-ridden hands.
But yeah, I think his performance is really good. Jackie Chan is obviously an absolute legend.
I do like Jackie Chan in this. Whenever I see
really
a clip
great.
from this film, Jackie Chan has such... Similar to how Pat Morita has this kind of like underlying sadness and like this grief throughout his character in Karate Kid 1.
Yeah.
You can see it in Jackie Chan is like a beaten down man.
Yeah.
He's like really worn down by everything. He's sad, he's depressed. And I like seeing that. And I like seeing Jaden bringing that out.
Yeah. And there's a really nice reveal of it later as well, when Jackie Chan's working on his car, like fixing his car, and Jaden Smith comes back, and I think he finds a photo of something and kind of realises that he's lost his wife.
Yeah, well, the same thing happens in the first.
The first one?
Yeah, in the first one, Mr. Miyagi is like, I think he just tells Daniel that he had a wife.
Yeah.
And then Daniel finds like a letter or something that says that she died in childbirth.
Yeah.
And then Mrs. Miyagi made the gi that Daniel wears. It's really, really cool.
But yeah, there's a real... You're absolutely right. There's a real depth to his character, but there's also, I think, a brilliant connection between Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith in this. Like, their relationship is really, really good. All of the scenes are epic. Like when the bullies are chasing... What's his character's name in this? Sorry. I won't touch your phone. What's Jaden Smith's character? Dre, that's right. When the bullies are chasing Dre, and then... Who does he play? Mr. Han, that's right. When Mr. Han comes out of nowhere, and he doesn't fight them, he just like disarms them and makes them hurt themselves. he's like, I'm not going to hurt you. So he like blocks it and then pushes their fist back in their face and blocks and like gives them a little shove. That's a really fun sequence. With Jackie Chan, obviously the fight coordination is going to be really good, but in this it's fucking great.
Yeah.
What other scenes do I like? There is the bit obviously on the end of the pier where they're sparring and then he puts like Jaden Smith over the water. Yeah. That's a really good scene. And they go up to another temple in the mountains at one point. And there is a cobra in that, I believe. I believe Jaden Smith is like in crane position.
No, it's like, he just like a snake thing. He does like some kind of like snake thing.
Yeah, and he's looking at a snake as well. Yeah. There's some really great moments in this, and I will never forget the first time seeing the final kick in the battle. You know, where he does the flip. I always tried to do that kick on a trampoline. I don't think I ever got it right.
Gave yourself whiplash. But yeah, that's kind of like the Karate Kid franchise up until this point. Mm-hmm. And then I believe the film came out on Friday, I think the film might even be out now.
It's in cinemas.
Karate Kid Legends is now out. Now, Karate Kid Legends sees a young boy called Lee Fong come from Japan over to New York. His mum works in a hospital and he's been brought over for her work. Now, he used to train at Mr. Han's dojo. So that's a connection with Jackie Chan's character, is that in Japan he trained with Jackie Chan. Beijing. Even Beijing's in China. China. So he trained in Beijing with Mr. Han. He then comes over to New York and the standard Karate Kid shtick happens he's getting like picked on, he doesn't really fit in. And he starts, he befriends some local shop owners, and this man is like a boxer in the area. He befriends him, he befriends his daughter, and Lee Fong is kind of like teaching this boxer some kung fu style moves. Anyway, Mr. Han ends up coming over, and Mr. Han for some reason knows Daniel LaRusso and persuades Daniel LaRusso to come over and help teach this boy for the big tournament.
Of course.
And it is a Karate Kid film. That's like,
So
I will be honest, that is like, it follows the same pattern that we've had for the past like 4 movies.
So they found a mould and they've
stuck to it. They've stuck to it. So yeah, the film is out now, and Ben Wang plays Lee Fong. Ben Wang, who you might know from American Born Chinese, which is on Disney+. He's also going to be in Stephen King's The Long Walk, which is coming out later this year. I think it's quite soon, actually.
Yeah, I think that is soon.
And he's also just recently been announced to be appearing in the new Hunger Games movie, Sunrise on the Reaping, which is of course the Hamish Abernathy 50th Hunger Games story, which they've been like pumping out the cast announcements for, which is
Cast looks good for that.
It's the cast has been decided by Tumblr and like Twitter. It's like all of the fan cast, like Jesse Plemons is playing a younger version of Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah,
like
incredible.
Of course he is. Jason Schwartzman's not Jason Schwartzman. He played the other one. A Real Pain.
Kieran Culkin.
Kieran Culkin's playing Stanley Tucci's character. It all looks really, really good, but he's going to be in that film as well. But this is his first kind of big leading film role. He did appear in the Mean Girls musical remake thing, apparently, but I have no idea who has. And I've seen that film like 4 times, and I have no idea.
Have you actually?
Yeah, I like watching it on the plane.
Oh no.
But so I got to sit down with Ben Wang. We had a nice little conversation, mostly about martial arts. I just love speaking about different sparring styles, different kind of martial arts styles, and how someone with a background in the martial arts transfers those skills that you've been doing in a dojo into on screen. Like, it must be so different. This is my conversation with Ben Wang.
He tried his best because he's only a man, and a man's got to learn to take it. You got to believe that when the going gets tough, that you got to hang tough to make it. History certainly has repeated itself because we keep getting Karate Kid movies. He tried and he succeeded. He is the best around. The Karate Kid.
Me.
Ben Wang. Ben, You're living my dream here, man. You are the Karate Kid. Tell me what I need to do to get into your shoes. What's your training process? How do we get there?
What you need to do to get into my shoes?
What I need to do to get there, man.
You need to cut off all of your toes and then file down your heel a little bit, and then maybe you could squeeze it in.
Yeah, chop up my shit.
Yeah, I wear. Well, these are American sizes, but I wear like 6.5s, dude. I wear like shoes for kids.
Yeah. If I want to get in that gig,
so if you want to get into that shoe, maybe not you, man.
No, maybe not.
I don't know. It's mostly squats.
Mostly squats.
It's really mostly squats. First 2 weeks was squats. Third week was figuring out a pose, and then the rest of it was just sort of
squats with paint cans.
Yeah.
It
helps.
That wasn't just for the film. That's actually...
I mean it's not even joking. It's like mostly when you're doing I mean, like action choreography is dancing. My background is in dance.
Yeah.
So, but to make the the formal stuff look good, you just have to look like you're really stable. And it really is kind of a lot of it's in the quads and the calves. Yeah. So I'm not joking when I say the first 2 weeks was just pistol squats.
Squats are on the menu. That's what on the menu. But yeah, in this movie, you've got Sensei Ralph Macchio.
Yes.
You've got Shifu Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Legends of the industry. I imagine they taught you so much about martial arts and everything. But what did they teach you about the art of filmmaking that you're going to carry with you now?
Everything. I mean, not like that's not like they taught me everything.
College didn't
literally
teach me a
everything
thing.
about filmmaking. No, I mean, I got to see firsthand the Jackie Chan school of making an action film, which is, I mean, it's really a priceless experience. Watching in real time as Jackie Chan figures out how to do a gag with a piece of furniture is like you can't buy that kind of thing with money. No.
It's just priceless.
It's truly priceless. And Ralph, his dedication to the character, his dedication to the franchise, he's been in it for 40 years, and he still has so much love and respect for the character.
How is he 62 as well? Like, this man
I don't know.
Just incredible.
Yeah.
And of course, you got to spar both of these guys in the film. And of course, one character's more influenced by Kung Fu, one's more influenced by karate. But did you pick up on any nuances in their martial arts style that made each of them distinct?
Between Kung Fu and karate?
Or Jackie and Ralph's styles in particular?
Well, sure. I mean, Ralph is... old school, not old school, but like traditional Goju-Ryu karate trained. It's from the start, from the first Karate Kid movie, the forms that they were doing on the beach and stuff was all based in Goju-Ryu style karate. It's very specific and very rigid. Jackie's whole thing is that he takes from everything. He trained in, southern styles and southern kung fu styles, northern kung fu styles, and he was doing karate at the same time, and kempo and judo and silat I'm just making things up, but I assume it's true. You know what I mean? So Jackie was already always about like mixing styles for efficiency, for flair, for what he needs in the scene. So, yeah, in that way, it is quite different because Ralph's style is more rigidly traditional, and Jackie's style is more... It's a bit more freewheeling, actually.
And we see that come through in the film.
Yeah.
Well, Ben, you're now the Karate Kid. You're going to be in The Long Walk.
Yeah.
You're going to be in Sunrise on the Reaping. This is a big year for you, man.
Yeah, it is.
How are you doing? Have you had time to breathe yet?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right. I need to sleep
This is your
more.
year, man. I
need to sleep more. And I'm starting Rogaine soon, so I'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be okay. Finally, just to wrap it up, I did martial arts as a kid. Sensei Robinson taught me so much about discipline and honor and everything. Mr. Robinson, Sensei Robinson, what a guy.
Yeah.
But I'm just an influencer, and people don't really trust my word as gospel. But you're the Karate Kid, man. Can you just give us, my audience, a little bit of an insight into the benefits behind a life in the martial arts?
Benefit behind a life in the martial arts? There's the obvious ones. There's fitness. There's community. I think like people who don't do martial arts might not know about how like truly amazing the martial arts community is,
they're
right?
wonderful.
People who do martial arts are like across the board some of the like coolest people that I've met.
There's so much respect in it. as well.
Respect, but like generosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in the traditional martial arts, I found that it's just like
Absolutely.
communities are always wonderful.
Lovely guy, nice guy,
Yeah.
nice guy. Wish him all the success. And I meant what I said at the end there. He's got a busy old year, and I do wonder how he's doing, how he's coping with it, because I imagine it is a lot to digest.
Yeah, it must be, especially going, as you're right, like doing like minor roles to what is I'm not arguably a very big franchise.
Yeah.
And then leading that
You're
must be a
heading that up.
massive
Massive undertaking.
and a massive life-changing thing.
And now we will talk about the film. You haven't seen the film.
I've not.
I have seen the film, because I had to do the junket, obviously. But the film itself, Karate Kid Legends, is not very good, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Karate Kid fans, I feel, might be let down.
Oh no.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do think that this is the
No!
case. Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio are barely in this film.
Really?
Ralph Macchio doesn't show up for like the first hour. And then when he does, like, he doesn't really have any stakes. There's no like arc. And I get that they want you to be invested in Li Fong as a character. Like, he's the protagonist. You're supposed to be invested in him. Like, everything else should be supplementary. But when you're marketing this as a legacy sequel, this is a legacy sequel, similar to like Ghostbusters, Afterlife, and all of that. If you're bringing legacy characters back, such as in Afterlife, not all the marketing should be based around them. It shouldn't. We shouldn't go in expecting them to be big stakeholders in this plot, because people are going to go into this film kind of expecting Jackie and Ralph to have like kind of big roles, because their faces are massive on the poster.
Every teaser trailer has started with them, with Jackie and Ralph at the front going, "Here's the new trailer for Karate Kid Legends."
Yeah.
Cut to trailer.
Because, I mean, otherwise you're not really going to get butts in the seats, which I understand.
Yeah.
But it's setting audiences up for disappointment when Ralph Macchio, like, I was genuinely sat there for the first hour waiting for him to show up. And then when he did, I've never felt so let down.
So underwhelmed.
Because they just do the training thing with Ben Wang's character, and it just doesn't land the way that they're wanting it to.
Right.
I also don't think I think if they were going to do this and put so much pressure on like emphasis even on Li Fong's character, it should have just been him until like the very end.
Yeah.
Like, and have Ralph and Jackie be kind of like the referees of the tournament, or like the judges of the tournament, or something like that. Like, have it almost as a cameo Easter egg thing, because otherwise you've not given them enough to do to warrant them being front and center for all of this stuff.
So even Jackie's not in it too much.
Jackie's in it more. Like, Jackie's in it at the beginning, and he kind of like shows up halfway through. Because like he, I'm trying to think, like, he comes over because Lee needs help, like, learning karate, like he's having some grief.
Right.
But this doesn't feel like Mr. Han. Like,
Really?
I haven't seen the Jaden Smith Karate Kid movie in a very long time. But like we were saying, Mr. Han has such kind of like a depth to him, like a grief, an underlying.
It must be quite hard to play that character 14 years on, especially when obviously Jackie's aged 14 years as well.
And we get the character's moved on, the character's developed, and he's well established and whatever. Like, and he's got his kung fu school. He's doing really well, so of course he's not going to be as jaded. But there isn't like a glimmer of the the underlying stuff going on. And this film does try and deal with some quite like really kind of graphic themes of kind of grief and loss with Lee's character, and it just doesn't work well because it's not really given the space to breathe in a film that's kind of like trying to be so like fun, and the editing's really flashy, and yeah, it's great. Wow. You're then dealing with these themes of like grief and loss, and they just don't feel fleshed out enough. And I feel like if they wanted to go further down that route, having Mr. Hahn's character there helping Lee through it would have putting more emphasis on that dynamic.
Yeah,
would have really helped the film, and it would have kind of enforced the sensei student dynamic. Because martial arts, there's so much more than just teaching you how to fight. It's about kind of the personal development, and I think this is kind of what that film is somewhat losing with its core trio dynamic.
Okay, interesting.
So that's not to say that the film isn't without merit. I wasn't pulling my hair out. Like, I wasn't really annoyed. I was just left feeling underwhelmed.
Right. What's the fight choreo like?
The fight choreo is great, and I will get Ben Wang is a talented martial artist. There is there's a brilliant fight scene in an alleyway, which is really cool. The final fight's really engaging. I just don't like the editing. I feel like the way that they edit it, they've added quite a few kind of like special graphics, like graphic effects, and it just doesn't really work for a Karate Kid movie.
Right.
Like when I'm watching a martial arts fight, I want to watch the fight, and I want to feel it.
What's the editing like during the fight sequences?
It's okay that it gives it space to breathe. Like the worst fight choreo editing is when it's just like snappy. Whereas this does feel like it's given like some space to breathe, and
that's good.
You know that's nice, and it don't get me wrong, it is nice to see Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio share the screen, and like I like seeing the little cameo at the end, but it just felt Cobra Kai fans will be let down. I think hardcore fans of the Karate Kid franchise will be let down. But if you don't have such an affinity with the franchise, and you're going in expecting a fun enough time at the movies, you'll be fine. But as a die-hard Karate Kid fan, I was left wanting a bit more. I am a die-hard Karate Kid fan. Daniel LaRusso will always be my Karate Kid. This is a fine enough addition to the Karate Kid mythos and franchise, however, it's not really for me. So I'm going to go and watch the rest of the Cobra Kai series, and then I'm going to go and get my black belt.
Yeah! Jesus. Okay, so to tie in with the Karate Kid movie episode, we are now going to be drafting... We're going to be drafting the top 5 movies with the best fight sequences. Do you want to rock, paper, scissors, see who goes first?
Yeah.
On scissors?
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Go.
Okay. So at my number 1...
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Old Boy.
Okay. Great choice.
The hallway scene is undeniably one of the best fight sequences in cinema. Easy.
Okay, my number 1, I'm going to go with Enter the Dragon.
Okay,
Yeah,
I've actually not seen it.
Enter the Dragon. I loved that film as a kid, so I'm going to take that.
Right.
Go.
Number 2, I'm going with John Wick Chapter 4.
Okay.
Seeing that in the cinema was just phenomenal. It blew my mind. Sometimes they do the one shots, especially that scene. The scene that comes to mind is when they're in the building and the camera is floating above the rooms.
That's a great scene. Yeah, with the fire shotgun.
Yeah,
that's great.
Phenomenal.
I'm gonna go with Kill Bill 1.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Kill Bill 1. I think that's probably Tarantino's best fight choreo in any movie. I think Kill Bill 1's great.
My number 3.
Yeah.
Oh no, you go. We'll snake draft it.
Okay. We haven't done that so far.
No.
Just you can.
Okay. My number 3. The Raid.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No.
Indonesian film. Absolutely phenomenal.
Okay.
Absolutely. The Raid 1 and 2. both have some of the best fight sequences. Like the whole movie is like an hour and a half, and it's all one big fight sequence.
Nice.
It's class.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Kung Fu Panda 1.
Damn
Kung
you!
Fu Panda 1.
No!
Yes, yeah. The bridge scene's phenomenal. When
Our fight will be legendary.
when Tai Lung like escapes from the prison as well, that's awesome.
Damn
I
you!
think that's so cool. So yeah.
I'm gonna go with Around the World in 80 Days. Another Jackie Chan movie.
Okay.
It may not be the best, but I remember watching this film with my dad as a kid and absolutely loving it.
Nice.
So, for posterity reasons,
Okay. I'm gonna go with Lord of the Rings 2 Towers. Purely for Helm's Deep.
okay, Helm's Deep.
Purely for Helm's Deep. I
Very
think
good.
that's a fight scene. Like
Yeah, it
it's
counts.
one of the most epic fight sequences of all time.
Yeah.
Like I think when I think of big battles, I think of that.
Well, I'm surprised you're not going for just Return of the King at the end.
I think Helm's Deep is a better sequence than Palinor Plain. Like I don't know. Like Return of the King is a film I prefer overall, but I
Yeah.
prefer Helm's Deep over the Battle of the Palinor.
I used to have the Lord of the Rings game on my Xbox original, and every time you loaded into the game, you had to watch the opening fight sequence that came on at the beginning of the first Lord of the Rings movie. You know.
Oh yeah, the one with Sauron.
The one with Sauron, yeah. That played every time, and
That's cool. That's
I've got a real affinity for that
Yeah.
fight scene now. My number 4, I'm going to go with Mission Impossible Fallout.
Okay.
Because
that
that
Henry
fight
Cavill?
scene in the bathroom, where he reloads the biceps,
Yeah.
absolutely class. I mean, a lot of the fight choreography and a lot of the Mission Impossibles is really good, but that one particularly sticks out.
I'm gonna say I don't know how much this is fight or action, but I'm gonna nick it anyway, and that's Mad Max Fury Road.
There's not too many fights in that.
I
is
think
there?
just the sequence alone of like when they're climbing over the cars and they're like throwing stuff down and it's
Yeah.
like everything's exposed, like visually.
Yeah,
I
fair
don't know.
enough.
I'm gonna take that.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, then I'm gonna go. Maybe mine's another cheap option. Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
The portal scene into the final fight
Fair enough,
sequence.
yeah.
The fight sequence where Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor are all fighting Thanos, and he
Yeah.
picks up the hammer. You go,
Yeah,
yes! That's got to be on there. Again, it's not the same sort of fight sequences as Old Boy and Karate Kid.
Yeah. But it's a fight sequence.
It's a fight
nonetheless.
sequence.
And my final one, I'm gonna take the Karate Kid, the first Karate Kid. I think.
Fair.
Purely for that final, as soon as from when when you try to do your best because you're only a man and man's got to learn to take it. When that song starts up until the end, I am fully locked in.
Yeah.
Like the All Valley Championship is just the coolest thing, and I think it's great. I think it's brilliant. So
Well, there you
I'm
go.
taking the Karate Kid.
Let us know in the comments and online who won that draft. I think I have won that draft.
I
if I'm
think
honest.
I've won that one. I got Kill Bill and Kung Fu Panda.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
You took 2 of my the ones
And
on my
Enter
list.
the Dragon. Come on.
I did think about going with is it House of a Thousand Flying Daggers?
Oh, okay.
I remember watching that one with my dad as a kid as well, and that one was really good.
Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee. Oh my
Is that the
God.
one with the gym sequence?
That's the one where he has his top off and he's been scratched up and
Oh,
he wears
there's a scene, there's a Bruce Lee scene that comes up on TikTok all the time, where he's in the gym,
oh maybe.
and the guy comes up to him and he's being a bit very racist, and then Bruce Lee doesn't argue back. He just goes, "Alright, let's go. Yeah, let's do this. Let's fight." Because the guy's like, "I'll take you outside and I'll beat you up," and he's like, "Okay, let's go."
Yeah, Bruce Lee's so cool.
So cool. Okay, so this next game we're going to play is box office higher or lower. We're going to take it in turns and see who can score the best. I'm opening Clash of Clans for some reason. Okay, here we go. The Wizard of Oz made 26 million,
Okay.
120,000.
Yeah.
Did Quantum of Solace make more or less, higher or lower?
Is this calculated for inflation?
Yes.
Quantum of Solace made less.
Incorrect.
Oh.
It made so much more.
Oh.
About 600 million. All right, the Lego Movie
Yeah.
made 468 million.
Right.
Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Made more.
Correct. 1.4 billion.
Wow.
The 2018 Halloween.
Yeah.
Higher or lower?
Then what? Age
Age
of
of
Ultron.
Ultron.
Lower.
Correct. That's
Yeah.
2. Rocky. Higher or lower than Halloween?
How much did Halloween make?
255 million.
Lower.
Correct. 117 million.
Ooh.
Battleship 2012.
Lower.
Incorrect.
Oh, wow,
300 million.
Wow.
The high score
Terrible
is
film.
3.
Terrible,
Let's go again.
terrible film.
Okay, so 2015 Spectre. James
Yeah.
Bond film. 880 million.
Yeah.
The 2011 Best Picture winner, The Artist.
Made less.
Yeah, come on. 133 million. Battleship, again. I've just told you how much it made.
More.
Correct. 303 million. Monsters University.
Made more.
Correct. 743 million. Birds of Prey, The Emancipation of Harley Quinn.
Made less.
Correct. 201 million. The 2004 SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Made. Oh, that's tricky actually. That
Yeah.
one. I'd say. Let's go higher.
Incorrect. 141
Good
million.
movie. That good movie.
Right, here we go. Turn number 4. Onward, 2020, made 103 million. The original Pinocchio.
Made less.
Incorrect.
Oh, really?
121 million.
Wow.
Okay, and 5th and final attempt. 2004's Saw made 103 million. The Emoji Movie.
Made more.
Correct. 217 million.
Ah.
Transformers: Age of Extinction.
Yeah. Made more.
Correct. 1.1 billion.
Wow.
Quantum of Solace again.
Made less.
Correct. 589 million. 2011's Winnie the Pooh.
Made less.
Correct. 49 million.
Okay.
The Irishman.
Made. Oh.
That's
Less.
less than 49 million?
Well, it went direct to Netflix, didn't it?
Yeah.
No, maybe more. Maybe. Yeah. More.
Worldwide gross was less than $1 million for The Irishman.
Did
So-
they release it at
No, it
all?
went straight to Netflix, didn't they?
Did they do like any?
I don't believe so. It was COVID.
Oh.
Henry's high score was 4.
Okay.
Time to swap. Turn the tables. 5 attempts.
I'm gonna like disinfect my thing after this. Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, has 153 million.
Okay.
Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Higher.
That's correct.
Yes.
Rogue One, 1 billion. The Lego Movie.
Lower.
That's correct.
Yes.
The Lego Movie has 468 million. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, the third one.
They made quite a bit of money. Higher.
That's correct, 960 million.
Yes.
The Gentleman, 2019. Easy.
What was the first one?
960 million.
Oh, lower.
That's correct, 114. You got 4. Let's try again. Toy Story 1995 made 404 million versus Clerks 1994.
Lower.
That's correct, it made 3 million. 3 million versus Django Unchained.
Higher.
I wonder. Django made 425 million. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. The second one.
Ooh. Higher.
That's correct, it made 836 million.
Boo.
Twilight 2008.
Ooh. How much did Transformers make?
836,303,693.
Lower.
That's correct. It made 408,424,673.
Come on, baby.
Jojo Rabbit.
Ooh. Taika Waititi. I'm going to say lower.
I would have said the same thing, and that is correct. It made 90 million. Versus the SpongeBob SquarePants movie 2004.
Higher.
That's correct. It made 141 million. versus Bambi from 1942.
Lower.
That's correct. Yeah, that was right. Well done.
Yes.
You got a bronze medal.
I got a bronze medal.
Do you want to go once more?
Yeah, go on, do one more.
We'll do one more. Halloween 1978 made 47 million versus The Matrix.
Higher.
The Matrix did make more money. It made 465 million. Did The Fate of the Furious make more than The Matrix?
Yes. Higher.
That's right. It made 1.2 billion.
Whew.
Oz the Great and Powerful,
Lower.
obviously, made 493 million versus Jojo Rabbit.
Lower.
That's correct. It made 90 million versus Man of Steel.
Ooh.
Jojo Rabbit or Man of Steel?
Higher.
That's correct. Man of Steel made 668 million versus Wall-E 2008.
Lower.
That's correct. Wall-E made 521 million versus The Call of the Wind 2020.
Lower.
That's right. It made 107 million, which is more than I'd expected
Yeah.
to make, to be honest, versus It 2017.
Higher.
That's right. It made 700 million. Birds of Prey: The Emancipation of Harley Quinn made.
Lower.
That's right. It made 201 million versus Pitch Perfect 2.
Ooh.
Pitch Perfect 2 or The Birds of Prey?
I'm going to say lower.
That's incorrect. It made 287 million.
Damn.
That's unfortunate. Well done, though. That was good.
That was pretty good.
That was good. So that was our Karate Kid special. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed our conversation with Ben Wang. And yet again, if you enjoyed our conversations, please do show us some love so we can keep bringing them to you. Hopefully next week we will have more special guests from an upcoming release, which we are both very, very excited
Yes, sir.
about. So
Make sure to follow the podcast on the Scenestealers podcast on Instagram and YouTube, and it's pretty much everywhere is the Scenestealers podcast. You can follow myself on Tobias_Turley on Instagram or Tobias Turley on Letterboxd.
You can find me at henry.calve on TikTok and henry.calve on Instagram, or just Henry Calvert everywhere. And yeah, we will see you next week for another very special episode with some very, how should we say, Scandinavian friends.
Ooh.
We'll see you there.
Bye.
Bye.